You'd think Mello Buckzz and NLMB would have learned from what's happened to others who were either shot or killed at clubs and house parties. At this point, it's clear that house parties and club events in Chicago are no longer safe. Just a few months ago, Muna Duke, a young member of O Block, was murdered. Wooski's brother Lasky was also killed at a house party. And some years back, Melly from 051 Young Money was gunned down in front of a crowd at a house party in Taekwon World. With so many deadly incidents over the years, a more seasoned gang like NLMB should have known better. Especially Mello Buckzz, been around long enough to have seen or heard about the funerals of people like Mad Max, Pistol P, Jacoby Herrings, and many more from NLMB who were murdered in brutal ways. And let's not forget G Herbo, a major face of NLMB, who was actually a special guest at that album release party. G Herbo knows the score. He's seen what the streets have done to his people, so it's hard to understand why he would let something like that happen out in public, especially with all the new enemies NLMB has made lately. NLMB has already gone through serious wars with KTS, Black Mob, Pocket Town, Lakeside, and several other East Side sets. And in recent years, they've gained even more rivals from other parts of Chicago. With all of that considered, deciding to throw a club album release party was a risky, calculated move, and maybe not the smartest one. And now, with even more opposition building, throwing a club event like that was a risky move. Maybe too risky. NLMB is way too hot in the streets right now to be throwing parties like that. So far, 4 people have been killed. Mello Buckzz wasn't even there when it all went down. Now the streets are starting to speculate. Was it get back for someone in NLMB dissing the dead? Or was it something deeper? Rumors currently circulating point to Darrow from Bloodbath 130th as the alleged perpetrator of the earlier killing. In response, some believe that 95 Mob and YFG carried out a swift act of retribution by targeting NLMB at Mello Buckz's album release event. Or could it Pocket Town may have orchestrated the shooting? This speculation is largely driven by a recent spike in cryptic social media posts from individuals linked to Pocket Town, hinting that the attack may have been motivated by ongoing street rivalries. Some people talking about how Mello Buckzz dropped her own location after dissing the dead, then dipped early, leaving behind her boyfriend and so-called sisters while everyone else got shot up. Something just doesn't feel right. The streets and internet are buzzing. Some people even asking, was it a blood sacrifice? Maybe. Who really knows anymore? The world is full of snakes, ruthless people. There's talk in the drill scene. Some artists allegedly getting orders from dark spiritual forces, being told early on, you want to rise in this game, you got to give up blood. Could be paranoia or could be real. But either way, it's crazy. It's like someone did to NLMB what NLMB allegedly did to Pocket Town. And with how known NLMB is, especially after years of beef with sets like Pocket Town, KTS, and Lakeside, being out in public, partying without major security, that was a gamble. And innocent people showed up to that event, not knowing how deep the danger really ran. That's where the responsibility hits. If you're that hot in the streets, you owe your supporters protection, or at least honesty about the risk. Now Drench Gang might get active, especially since LP was Lil Rock's brother. The tension's real. If Pocket Town does retaliate, they probably won't even claim it. The feds are watching too closely. They might just settle for trolling online. But truth is, Pocket Town's too hot, and Big Op was already trolling out on 95th. NLMB better chill. The feds are all over them right now. Best move? Lay low. Stay off the internet. Especially Big Op and Herbo. Both better stay quiet for a while. And look, I don't normally buy into all that sacrifice stuff, but this situation, it's weird. Mello leaving the club before everything popped off, and leaving everyone she came with behind? That don't sit right. Like, how are you the one who dipped right before it happened? You didn't even wait on your people? That's not something most women would do, especially not in a group. Makes you wonder if she knew something was coming. Maybe she didn't, but from the outside, it feels off. Mello Buckzz, born Melanie Doyle, was celebrating the release of her new mixtape when a drive-by shooting left 4 people dead and 14 injured, including her boyfriend and best friend. The NLMB drill female rapper made her debut in 2021 and has been on the rise since. Taylor Walker, 26, from Left, Leon Henry, 25, and Aviance Drexler, 27, were fatally shot outside a restaurant in the 300 block of West Chicago Avenue late Wednesday night. Devontae Williamson, 23, was shot in his chest, and Leon Henry, 25, was shot in his head. Both were pronounced dead at Stroger. Two women, Taylor Walker, 26, and Aviance King, 27, were fatally shot in their chests and pronounced dead at Northwestern, police in the Cook County Medical Examiner's office said. 4 women were taken in critical condition to Stroger and Mount Sinai. A 31-year-old shot several times, a 24-year-old shot in her back, a 25-year-old shot in her leg, and a 21-year-old shot in her face. 10 others, ages 24 to 32, are in good condition at nearby hospitals, police said. Several people sat outside the Stroger Hospital emergency entrance Thursday morning, some discussing how they raced to the hospital after hearing about the shooting. Just days ago, a tragic mass shooting left 4 individuals dead and many others injured. So what exactly transpired that night? Mello Buckzz, a rising female rapper from Chicago and an acknowledged member of the infamous NLMB street gang, was hosting an album release celebration at the Artist Lounge nightclub in River North. The event marked the debut of her latest project, Hollywood Hood, which launched on streaming platforms Thursday morning. The album features appearances from notable figures in the Chicago drill scene, including veteran rapper G Herbo on the track BD and emerging teenage artist Star Bands, who opens the album with Back Up on My Shirt. Star Bands is also scheduled to perform at Lollapalooza next month. The celebration attracted a high-profile crowd, including affiliates from both NLMB and their allies from East End. Among the attendees were Big OP and Doe Wop, connected to NLMB and Drench Gang. Promoted as a private event, doors opened at 7 p.m. and the night began with a vibrant and energetic atmosphere. But 4 hours later, just as guests began to leave, the celebration took a devastating turn. As attendees gathered on the sidewalk, winding down the evening, a black Honda Accord slowly drove past. Inside, 2 individuals opened fire, one with a handgun and the other wielding a high-caliber rifle. The car remained in motion as gunshots erupted into the crowd. Panic broke out instantly as people ran in every direction, with several struck by gunfire. Remarkably, a black Cadillac SUV and 2 other nearby vehicles served as protective barriers, potentially saving dozens of lives. Without those cars blocking the line of fire, the fatalities could have been even higher. Witnesses report that both shooters emptied their magazines before speeding away. According to investigators, surveillance and witness accounts indicate the black Accord had circled the venue earlier in the evening, likely scoping out the crowd. Law enforcement believes the attack may have targeted Mello Buckzz herself, although she had reportedly left the premises before the shooting began. The aftermath resembled a battlefield, described by some as akin to a terror attack. Pastor Donovan Price, who arrived shortly after the shooting, told CBS News Chicago it was the worst scene he had ever witnessed. People were frantic, trying to find family, searching for phones and keys, desperate to locate one another, he said. We've seen a lot of shootings, but never anything like this. During a press conference, Chicago Police Superintendent Larry Snelling condemned the violence as a cowardly act, stating, "They didn't care who they hit. In mere seconds, 18 people were shot and 4 lives were lost." The Artist Lounge nightclub has since been temporarily shut down pending investigation. The venue had only recently opened in April, replacing a previous establishment also closed following a mass shooting. Mayor Brandon Johnson addressed the city, urging anyone with information to come forward. "We will not rest until those responsible are held accountable," he said. "I'm calling on anyone in Chicago who knows anything to speak up." So far, the confirmed toll includes 15 wounded and 4 deceased. Victims were rushed to several area hospitals, with reports indicating that some police officers transported victims themselves in patrol vehicles due to the urgency. All 18 victims were between the ages of 21 and 32. Of those injured, 5 were men and 13 were women. The 4 individuals who lost their lives have been identified as Leon Henry, 25, known as LP Easy from NLMB, Devontoe Williamson, 23, also known as Vonti, affiliated with WAP Gang and the TTD East End Alliance, Taylor Walker, 26, Aviance King, 27, Leon Henry, the younger brother of Rock, the namesake of Rock Block, was a respected figure within NLMB and had been referenced in rival drill lyrics by KTS Vaughn, KTS Dre, and Shoota Shells. His death echoes the 2012 killing of his brother and a later incident that also claimed the life of senior NLMB member Alamo, believed to have been carried out by KTS Lakeside members. LP Easy had strong ties with key NLMB names like Cairo, Big Oop, Duop, Minsky, Molly, and Wet. Devonta Williamson, or Vonti, was Mello Buckz's boyfriend. She later shared a public tribute on social media, posting heartfelt messages and a montage of their time together. "We were inseparable, glued to each other every day," she wrote. In another post, she added, "Prayers up for all my sisters. God, please hold them tight. I wouldn't wish this kind of pain on anyone." Among the injured was Dowop from NLMB, also known as Mr. Perfect Attendance. He sustained a gunshot wound to the leg and was reportedly carried to safety by fellow NLMB member. Among the attendees were Big Op and Dowop, connected to NLMB and Drench Gang. A longtime figure in both NLMB and Glow Gang, closely associated with Chief Keef and G Herbo. This was not his first time surviving a shooting. While the identities of many injured victims remain unconfirmed, most are believed to be women. It's still unclear if other NLMB or East End affiliates were among the wounded. Superintendent Snelling confirmed that no suspects are in custody at this time. He pledged increased police presence throughout the city during the upcoming holiday weekend and emphasized the department's commitment to solving the case. "Our detectives are working around the clock to deliver justice to the victims and their families," he said. The Artist Lounge issued a statement on social media expressing sorrow and solidarity. Artist was created to be a sanctuary, a safe, celebratory space for Black, brown, queer, and allied communities in River North. This tragedy shattered that vision in the most heartbreaking way. Our thoughts and prayers go out to all those affected. After the mass shooting, theories, retaliation, and street politics. In the wake of the mass shooting that claimed 4 lives and left over a dozen injured at Mello Buckz's album release party, the streets and the internet have been buzzing with speculation. Many are now calling the event a mass murder, and several theories have emerged about who may have orchestrated the attack and, more importantly, why. Following the mass shooting, several theories have emerged about who may have been responsible for the attack, an event many are now describing as a targeted mass execution. Among the most widely circulated theories is one that ties the shooting to a homicide that took place just the day prior. That incident involved the killing of Big Drills, a known member of 95 Mob, who was fatally shot in the Marley Grove area while accompanied by Lil Benji, affiliated with both YFG and 95 Mob. According to circulating rumors, Darrow from Bloodbath 130th was allegedly responsible for the shooting. Bloodbath members were among the first to post mocking messages about Drills' death online, before the incident had even been officially reported. Soon after, members of NLMB, including Varo and Lil Hot, joined in on social media, ridiculing Drills and claiming he died on a drill, implying he was killed while carrying out a hit. Based on this narrative, some believe that 95 Mob and YFG sought immediate retaliation and targeted NLMB during Mello Buckz's album release party. Another rumors gaining momentum suggests that Pocket Town could have been behind the shooting. This speculation is rooted in a recent spike in social media activity from individuals affiliated with Pocket Town, many of whom referenced Big Mex, a known Pocket Town member who was killed in late March. His death is believed to have been carried out by Shorty Mob, the younger generation of NLMB. Some online posts hint that the mass shooting may have been an act of revenge for Mex's death. Despite the chatter, the credibility of this theory remains uncertain. Pocket Town's street presence has reportedly diminished in recent months, casting doubt on whether they were capable of coordinating such a large-scale attack on their own. However, it's plausible that a more active Allied crew, such as 95 Mob, could have carried out the shooting on their behalf. As some observers have noted, despite vocal claims from their side following the deaths of KTS Dre and Spook, Pockettown and its associates have yet to deliver a clear act of retaliation against NLMB. Until now, potentially. You all know Pockettown is that gang with the dude Lil Les, One-Eye Shooter, who created Jarrow City by killing Jarvis Smith. He was NLMB Nightmare.
Cause trying to arrest me, but there's no more catching me.
Real nigga, little nuts. I don't live a late night like a bat.
Montana, you on YouTube, Kyle? What's the word, Kyle?
Man, we out here.
There are so many notable members of Pockettown like KTS Dre, Corey. Pockettown is a set/neighborhood. KTS is a clique composed of a East Side niggas from a couple different sets, kind of like Mellyway. It just so happens that Pockettown is the most notorious set within that clique, partially due to Lil Les. Not all Pockettown members claim KTS, but I think most of their top hitters do. KTS is basically a subset, some from E-Block, Vinny, KJ Bando, and some from Pocket, Denny G, Rio G, Killer Spook. Claim it best way I can explain it, but Pocket and E-Block are not clicked up as a whole. KTS based on 74th, 75th, Evans Langley. Pocket is on 71st to 73rd, University Woodlawn, and E-Block is on 75th, 76th, Cottage, Maryland. Also the Lakes, who claimed KTS like Dre and Posto, but Lakeside distances themselves from KTS. Now yeah, back then they were pretty close, but somewhere along the line their relationship became sort of strained. Apparently one of the old heads said Dre wasn't allowed back on Lakeside and wanted him dead. They kind of the same thing. The younger Pockettown members claim KTS. Denny really the oldest one in the Pocket that claimed KTS. Pocket got blood ties with Vaughn and his bros, and they got ties with Cutthroat General, Twin Glizzy's big bro. It seems more of an alliance movement like Mellyway or Marcus Way or Hottie Way than a so-called set. Anyway, we not for Pockettown's story for today. I will cover it on separately video in next few days. Another theory, less discussed publicly but reportedly coming from a direct source, suggests that the attack may have been carried out by so-called snakes, a term often used to describe individuals or groups with known animosity toward East End. Allegedly, these could include members of OTV, 800, or Rawtown. According to the source, those involved may have ties to the Dearborn area. While this account remains unconfirmed, it introduces yet another potential angle that investigators and observers have not dismissed. This was far more than a mere shooting. It was a mass killing in the center of downtown Chicago, and authorities are treating it with the utmost gravity. The Chicago Police Department has pledged its full dedication to tracking down those behind the attack, while the mayor has confirmed that city officials are actively coordinating with federal partners, including the FBI. With access to the city's extensive surveillance camera network, investigators are expected to scrutinize footage of the black Honda Accord down to the smallest detail. The urgency to solve this case is intense. Given the scale and visibility of the incident, it seems almost certain that the perpetrators will be identified. High-profile crimes like this, especially ones occurring in such a central location and under the spotlight of national media, are rarely left unresolved. It's likely only a matter of time before arrests are made. However, what's becoming increasingly evident is that this wasn't an isolated act. It appears to be part of a broader surge in gang-related violence. On one front, NLMB, Drill City, and the Bloodhounds seem to be aligned in opposition to Risky Road, 95 Mob, and YFG. Simultaneously, NLMB and East End are reportedly in conflict with another alliance known collectively as the Snakes, which includes groups such as Death Row and Buff City. In a wider context, NLMB appears to be under mounting pressure, possibly more than it can withstand. The possibility of a federal RICO indictment is becoming more pronounced. Over recent years, the group has been allegedly linked to a series of high-profile homicides, including the brutal killing of KTS Dre, who was infamously shot over 60 times near Cook County Jail, a mass shooting that claimed the life of Spook and allegedly prompted retaliation in No Limit territory by Lil Don, and the targeted killing of Bobo from Pocket Town, a murder some suggest was financed with support from a well-known local artist. These headline-grabbing attacks are just the most visible signs of a much larger pattern. Numerous other deadly shootings have taken place in between, forming what law enforcement describes as a complex and ongoing cycle of retaliatory violence. According to sources, the FBI has been intensifying its surveillance of NLMB ever since the brazen murder of KTS Dre.
You know we used to talk on the phone all the time.
I know, but look, you just said on live.
Let the fans on here for you ain't got to do all that extra shit.
Go ahead.
Let's talk like
regular.
Let's talk like regular. So
Don't
do it. Look, I'm only staying over here for like 3 minutes. Then after this, listen. Then I'm gonna call you another day, and we gonna talk for like 2 hours and state real facts. After this,
I don't even know if I want to talk to you, nigga. Like, what's up?
I'm trying to see why you lying on me though.
All right, tell me a lie. First, tell me this. How you say?
Hold on.
Niggas never want me to speak. Don't do that.
All right, hold on. Listen. They just said, you just said that that's the only shit I'm known for. I want you to stamp it on one of your homies. I ain't trying to be disrespectful, none of that.
Man,
I want you to stamp it on one of your homies that you ain't never heard no. I want you to stamp it on. Listen.
I'm gonna put this on my homies on gang, on the whole gang, every last one. I don't know none gangster shit, no gangster shit about you.
Why you just not like that?
I personally don't know no gangster shit.
So you ain't, alright, you ain't never.
Alright, so look, check this out.
You ain't never heard no gangster shit about me and nothing at all.
No, don't do that. Stop cutting me off. You just said on live.
I want to hear. Because you just lied.
You just said on live and talk. Let tell you ready to expose Goofy Dude, man, how he be running and doing this, how he be running for y'all, how y'all used to chase him. When y'all ever chase me? Whoever chased me? Whoever chased me, bro? You from over east, internet, the whole east side gonna hit it. Whoever chased me on 79. What did you run from me?
You did.
What did you run from me?
You did get chased.
Who chased me?
You chased me before and you got your ass chased too.
I chased Unlimited.
But listen though, you got your ass chased too and you ran a lot of times.
Now who?
For you not Superman, for on what you never ran, on what you never ran from us, period. Stamp that, put that on your brother. Anything you never ran from us, in no situations you never ran from nobody from No Limit, folks.
I don't know. Hey, look, this what I can
Who
say.
you run? I said put it on your brother that you never ran from no nigga from No Limit.
Stop saying my brother. Stop saying my brother. You don't get to say you.
I'm just saying. Well, I'm not.
But look, this what I'm saying. This what I'm saying.
Why you still ain't stamping yet? Why you still ain't?
You put it on Rock. I ever ran from you.
Put it on anybody that you never ran from us.
Put it on one of your homies. I ever ran from you.
You ain't have to run from me.
Okay, put it on your homies. I ever ran from the other nigga who got on live and said I be running from y'all all the time.
Why you going around this shit? Why you going around this shit?
Let's keep it real. I'm known for running. That's what I'm known for.
I'm just saying, why you saying you never ran from none of us, period?
Hey, look, I don't know who I ran from. You know, there been times I'd have been on 79th for little weird shit that happened. I probably did have to run, but not from an individual, not from you.
It don't matter. You ran a lot of times. That's why I'm telling you. You ran a lot of times.
From who? Have I ever ran from you? Have you ran from me before?
Hell no.
On what?
I never ran from you. I only seen you one time. I only seen you one time in person. And that was that day, and I ain't even run that day.
Hey, you hear me? You lucky we on live. You ain't never ran from me.
Listen.
Hey, y'all ain't all ran from me at once. Hey, look. You ain't never ran from me a lot of times in your life. Like, y'all ain't never had to run a lot of times because of me. Like, all the time. Like, unlimited times. Like, come on.
All right, listen. I'm finna ask you this question.
I ain't make niggas run.
No, listen.
Everybody run. Bro. Like, who
hold on. Look. I'm finna ask you one more time, bro. I'm finna ask you one more time. So you never
block I ain't make niggas run on since we gonna speak facts over East.
I'm finna ask you one more time. Folks. Can you stop talking over me, man?
Oh, what up?
So you never heard my name and no gangster shit with your homies, any of your homies. I want you to put it on any.
I ain't gonna lie to you. Listen to me, no, folks. If you did anything, you got away with it, folks. Because we do not be thinking that, folks. We think you.
On what?
Look, listen. We think you.
I'm finna get off. You just lied. You just stunning. You just told Flock when Flock just was on your live. You just said if Flock just told you he get down, you just said, oh yeah, that's Lil Bro though.
No, I didn't. I said, but I also said he not on shit.
On what you just said that?
I told you wasn't gonna watch that shit, boy. I said you wasn't on shit, boy. You tweak. He said you get down.
I'm gone,
folks. 5-minute conversations. I told him you do not get down, folks. Flock was like, man, he get down. I said, no, he don't, folks. He do not get down, folks. No, he don't, folks. That's what I said, folks. What you talking about? Nigga on wine. It's not like that, boy. Hey, look, but y'all gotta stop lying. Ain't a nigga chase me nowhere. Ain't a nigga did shit to me, boy, on cut though, boy. You time just be talking, y'all just be in there. Y'all let's be knowing what's up with me. I don't do nothing, boy. Ain't.
These headline-grabbing attacks are just the most visible signs of a much larger pattern. Numerous other deadly shootings have taken place in between, forming what law enforcement describes as a complex and ongoing cycle of retaliatory violence. According to sources, the FBI has been intensifying its surveillance of NLMB ever since the brazen murder of KTS Dree, an event that drew nationwide attention and significantly escalated federal focus on Chicago's gang dynamics. Rapper KTS Dree dead after being shot 64 times on way out of jail. Lundry Sylvester, 31, was killed after being released from a Chicago jail. About 8:50 p.m., Sylvester and a 60-year-old woman were walking when two people got out of a car and began firing at them. Sylvester was struck in the face and chest and reportedly taken to Mount Sinai Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. The woman was struck in the knee and taken to Stroger Hospital, where she was listed in good condition. Another woman, a 30-year-old who was walking in the area, suffered a bullet graze wound to the side of her face in the incident. Shooter Shell's death. Imagine while the whole street know. But until now, the Chicago police investigate the shooting death of Cedron Doles, aka Shooter Shells, in the 8100 block of South Paulina Street on July 10, 2017, in the Auburn Gresham. KTS Vaughn's death, Jacoby Hearing death, Vito, Rock of NLMB and FBG Duck, aka Big Clout from STL EBT or Tuka Gang, his death, and many other fallen street soldiers.